right, good morning. Welcome to Southwest Flavor. Happy Thursday to everyone. We have a great show for you today, and joining us to co-host is Will Peña. Good morning,
Good
Will.
morning, and happy birthday, birthday boy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, hey.
There you go.
Who do we have on today, Will?
Why don't you tell us, Ron?
We have General Ted Maxwell joining us. He is a proponent of RTA NEXT, and I know that's a really hot topic in Pima County right now and all the surrounding areas. So you're going to give us a little bit of the facts about it.
Absolutely, Ron. And really, I want to hear a lot about the questions you've got, concerns you've got, or just clarification of things you have heard. That doesn't really matter. First off, happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
That's pretty
I appreciate
often
it.
working on your birthday. It's amazing how that stops, about that time you finally get a job. And it never comes back until you're too old and maybe you don't even remember it's your birthday.
That's right.
We'll see.
That's right.
But,
same with summer vacation.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. Well, I appreciate you having me on. And obviously, you've both been at events that I've spoke about this. So I really want this to be, I'd love to hear your thoughts and what your questions are.
Sure.
But RTA NEXT is the next 20-year plan.
Right.
RTA 1 was passed in 2006. At the time, it was an estimated revenues of 2.1 using what you call the baseline projection, and it came in about 1.6. So there's on RTA NEXT, you'll find seven road projects that are carryovers from the first. Some of them have some structural changes, downsizing, because the population, bluntly, has not grown how it was estimated to back in 2006. That led to some of the revenue problems.
Right.
And people go, why? You promised us you were going to do all these projects, and there's 7 that aren't done. Well, a big piece of it is when you bid a project for $2.1 billion and you collect $1.6 billion, you can't build roads if you don't have the funds.
Yeah,
and
so that shortfall.
That's the big thing that led into why those are there. But there is a justification in changing some of these roads, because if the RTA is full of a lot of protections that people don't understand. The alternative, if RTA 1 doesn't pass, is you're going to see some of the municipalities are going to go on their own to fund the roads and infrastructure, or the services, in the case of transit inside the city of Tucson and in Oro Valley and outside of Tucson, that they need. Right. So this isn't one of those things that there's options other than coming back and getting more revenues. The bottom line for infrastructure, and I serve on the State Transportation Board. That's how I serve on the Regional Transportation Authority Board as well here, so the RTA, and that's why I'm so involved. But there's really not a whole lot of other options out there other than finding revenue to do it. The budgets aren't there, then they don't have the ability to leverage the funds there either. But Prop 418 is the approval for the voters for the plan, and the statute requires there be 2 questions, one about the plan and one about the tax. And the tax is a continuation of RTA 1. Different name, it's going to be the RTA NEXT tax. The irony is RTA 1 will stop the day RTA NEXT starts, and guess what? The money all goes into the same account because it's a single regional transportation authority account that was set up. Right. So there is no tax increase. Some people have said, well, it's a tax. It is a tax. We've been paying a 1/2-cent sales tax in Pima County for the last
20 years,
20 years now. 20 years effective July 1st. And you'll pay a 1/2-cent sales tax after this.
Right.
So it really is a continuation.
Right.
But as with everything, it's new because it's not the original one. So that's probably the biggest misnomer that the people don't understand. And I said there's 38 road projects on there. The majority of the funding does go towards road, either reconstruction, which is a new category we didn't future have. We'll talk about that. That's all the discussions on potholes and fixing the roads. RTA 1 did not have any funding in it for fixing roads. Right. It was for really building and expanding roads and providing increased transit services and safety improvements, intersection improvements, hawk crossings inside the city of Tucson. But that road reconstruction, the rehabilitation, is a new category that will allow us to fix roads. And the key word being fix roads.
Okay.
When you fill a pothole and tamp it down, you do everything with it, it's going to be back in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Road rehabilitation is literally curb to curb. So there's no design, there's no added amenities there. It's just repaving the road.
Okay.
And that it has to be built to a 10-year standard. So when we say fix the potholes, we're talking about fixing them for hopefully a 10-year period. That's
Okay.
that's what it has to be built to. It will be a new road.
So it's taking it down to the dirt.
Taking it down to the dirt.
Okay.
Takes it down to the dirt. It's there's right now 177 million that's in this plan over 20 years. 133 million goes to the city of Tucson. The rest goes to everywhere else. And why is that significant portion of it? Because there's not a lot of roads that need widening or adding inside the city of Tucson any longer.
Right.
But we know, those of us who drive on the city of Tucson roads all the time, particularly the arterials, and you're going to hear the word arterial. So what is an arterial? That's the roads that get people from one place to another, that gets goods and services from one place to another. Because this isn't just about making it easier for us to get around. It's for all those things we need, for business owners to get their products delivered to them so they can then turn it into something that we as consumers want to purchase.
Right.
It also supports all those UPS and FedEx fans that are now driving around on the road all the time, delivering goods and goods to our home. So those are the roads we're talking about in the RTA. It's not neighborhood roads. I hear from so many people, my neighborhood roads stink. But that's not what this is about. This is a plan with 38 roadways on it, 31 new ones. About 14 of those have some expansion, but most of them have safety improvements. A lot of them will have efficiency improvements like right-hand turn lanes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because what's the worst thing to be is stuck behind a car making a right-hand turn at an intersection. And that improves the speed of the intersections. And most of the backups on our roads happen where? At the intersections. So it's that kind of improvement. But it's about 2/3 of it's probably going to roads. About another 30% goes, or just under 30%, about a quarter of it goes to improvements in the transit system. But everybody goes, oh, that's just supporting the city of Tucson's transit system. 41% of those dollars go to the city of Tucson. 59% go to all the other communities. And what's that support? That supports things like Dial-A-Ride, paratransit, which is critical for down in Green Valley, Oro Valley. Oro Valley was the second biggest advocate for getting more money into transit because they need the support for Dial-A-Ride.
Oh, okay.
And the things that, we've seen what's the improvement that's happened in 20 years. People forget about it. Twin Peaks interchange getting on and off the freeway, Ina interchange, Houghton Road, Speedway, La Cholla. I drove down La Cholla coming down to get here today.
Yeah.
Because I live in Oro Valley.
Yeah. And that big bridge.
The big bridge in La Cholla. That one, you'll see some pictures there. People forget. If you really want to go, you can go to rtadidthis.com. rtadidthis.com will have a whole makeup and show you the projects I've done. Because we've forgotten about it. What we've forgotten about has been the shortfall in funding and what's not getting done recently.
Yeah.
And that's where people are getting upset. But let's go back to that shortfall real quick. And you both heard my story. At one meeting earlier this month, I had a gentleman say, you promised to build all those roads. And if I promised to do a job, I'm a landscaper. And if I promised to do a job and I got to complete those projects, you haven't completed it. Well, what I pointed out to him was, if you promise to do a job for $2,100 instead of $2.1 billion,
Sure.
and 2/3 of the way through,
They ran out of money.
they ran out of money and said, "Hey, we've only got $1,600, but thanks for finishing the job." He said, "I'm not going to finish the job." And I said, "Exactly. That's the situation we're in here. There's not enough funds to finish all those projects. So we're putting them forward, changing the ones that it makes more economical and more responsible." Downsizing, a couple of lanes that were supposed to be six lanes are going to go to 4, but those have to go back to the voters because this plan is voter protected. And I think one of the things you both heard me speak loudly about is if you are worried about the government using the money correctly.
Yes, and that's a big concern.
Yeah.
That's what we see mostly on social media.
And if you're worried about the government using it correctly, I already mentioned Marana, Sarita, the city of Tucson will all go for their own half cent if this fails at some point. Might not be immediately, but they need money for the roads. Well, then they play banker, planner, and design and builder.
Yeah.
The RTA is the only one that those things are separated. The plan becomes voter protected. So those 38 projects specifically are voter protected. The funding divisions is voter protected. That's how the board is supposed to do it. And we actually get audited by the state auditor general. So the state auditor general has come in and audited, I believe it's 5 times RTA 1 in the lifespan of the thing, and found no signs of fraud or waste. Now, what they found is they found some things that they go, well, you got to be careful about doing that. which is what an audit does. It comes back in and it makes recommendations for how you can improve it. And a lot of those improvements have been built into the new to the RTA NEXT administrative code, which is how we do that. So that's, if you want oversight, voter protected plan, RTA is the bank. We don't give the money directly to the municipalities. We give it to them through either intergovernmental agreements, which funds things like dial-a-ride, paratransit, the expansion of transit services. And when it comes to the roads, when it's time, we give them the money to design. They do the design. It comes back, goes through the oversight process at RTA, and that includes a citizens oversight as well as a technical oversight. If it all looks like it's in compliance with the voter-approved plan, then we'll start giving them money for land acquisition or for the projects. But it stays in the city, in RTA. It goes to the municipalities when the building's actually getting done.
Okay.
So I've been doing a ton of talking. I know both of you have seen some of the things, and I know you've got some questions. I'd love to hear, what your concerns are at this point. Concerns or support. I always love hearing support. Sure. but whatever, Ron, I just appreciate the chance to be here.
Well, I remember when you were speaking earlier this month to us, you were telling us about the calculations and how it was calculated last time, and there was a shortfall. How are you calculating it different this time?
Well, that was a great point, and that comes up at almost every meeting. How are you going to prevent there being a shortfall last time? And I'll give Mayor Honey, Mayor Murphy, Mayor Winfield a ton of credit on this because they threw down when we were trying to build this plan. Because it's easier. The more money you have, guess what? You can put more things in it.
Sure, yeah.
But they insisted on using the pessimistic revenue projections.
Okay.
Anytime you get a projection from an economist on a plan, whether it's a 5-year revenue projection or, in this case, a 20-year, and obviously the longer it is, the harder it is to be accurate, they'll give you a pessimistic view, a baseline view, and an optimistic view. Okay. The first RTA used the baseline view, and that is a 50% of the time, they'll tell you the funds are going to come in below. 50% of the time, they're going to come in above. It's a flip of the coin.
Sure.
Well, 2008, the advent of online orders, which did not face a sales tax in states and communities for a long time until Wayfarer Act was passed by Congress, and then COVID, and the population that did not grow to be 1.3 million spenders. It's still sitting at 1.1 million. All impacted it, and it's woefully short. Fact of the matter is, RTA probably should have gone back to the voters earlier or started at least having the conversation with the voters earlier that, hey, we're going to be short. I think it all got highlighted in the last 5 years, and that's why a lot of people are sour on it. So the board unanimously voted to go with the pessimistic.
Okay. The
pessimistic, only 20% of the times in probability from the economists will it not reach the revenues. 80% of the time it will exceed them. That's why on the blue thing for the ballot that's in the ballot, this document has all 38 projects, has all the money going into transit, including the money that's being put into transit for safety and security, has all the different categories, including that arterial rehabilitation that shows how much money's going to be put towards fixing roads that currently are in such poor shape they can't be filled potholes or slurry sealed or they've got to be rebuilt to get them back up to standards. That's all in here. There's another column in here, or there's at the bottom of every element, there's one that says potential funding. And that shows you how much more potential funding would come if we meet that baseline. But the plan and what's guaranteed and what's voter protected is based on that 80% of the time we're going to be above that number.
Okay.
So the odds of we facing this again, why not impossible, and I'll knock on the fake wood here, why not impossible, are significantly reduced.
Okay.
But the protection in there and where it's going to be spent, the extra funds if they come in is also in there. And you have one vote for every municipality and the 2 tribes in this region to ensure that anything that they're going to spend that's, if for some reason we have a win, if it comes in like 70 or 80%, it's still intended to be spent in the same percentages on here, which I kind of alluded to on how much was going to roads and otherwise.
Right.
So I think that builds some more safety in this.
Yeah. Okay, so question for you here, and this is kind of, for lack of a better term, dumbing it down a little bit for people like me, okay?
No need to do that, but we can do that.
Okay.
No need.
All right, so the money that, let's just say, the city of Tucson gets out of this, You're saying that money is constantly controlled by the RTA.
It's controlled and approved by the RTA. So there are things that there is some modification that's allowed on these projects, but it's very limited and it has to be very intentional and has to meet the purpose as defined in the voters in the ballot proposition of what the road's intended to do. And the money is controlled by the RTA. So when a project comes to get built, and I'll give you an example. The downtown links has been one that's going to be done this year, but it's been a long project.
Yes,
it's
it has.
painful. I've had so many people talk to me. What took so long?
Right.
Well, one, it's working its way around the railroad, so that takes a long time. So the way that project would work, RTA's got the money. The city of Tucson says we're ready to go.
Right.
You give them the money to do the design.
Okay.
They came back with that design, and in that design, there was a lot of stuff, some parkways, some walkways, some resting benches, that was outside the scope of what the project's supposed to be.
Okay.
And some of it can be built in. There are some things you can do, and it's happened in Tangerine and Moran, and it's happened in other places. But it's limited on the percentage. It was in excess of that. Can't do that.
Right.
So no money went forwarded yet. So they went back and they redesigned it. They tried to see if they could find more money. And there's been projects that there's been some regional or some local money that's used to fix those. And the bottom line, because we're in such a shortfall right now, it was pretty restricted. But they came back and redesigned it. That fits. That works. The other challenge on that project, and this is where some of the more costs have come, is you're dealing with the railroads. And the railroads are probably, they don't have to let us do anything. And so dealing with the railroads can be very difficult because it's dealing with the federal government on a project.
Yeah.
And so that brings some delay sometimes because they'll go, no, you can't build it that way. The underpass under Grant, it was supposed to be 6 lanes. It's going to probably end up being 5 because part of making it 6 lanes was you had to take down the stanions.
Yeah.
And the railroads, you're not doing that. We're not going to, no. You have to build it in the current space available, which wasn't planned. And people go, well, why didn't you know that before you went to the voters? Because it costs a lot of money to design a road. So you can't go through the design project. If you look at Sabino Canyon connecting to Kolb, which I was on with Bruce Ash and Eb Wilkinson yesterday, and Eb says, I drive that road every day. But it was supposed to be done started in the first 5 years. It just got completed several years ago.
Yeah.
Because,
Will and I take that every Wednesday.
And when they got into the wash, they found environmental and art stuff that had to be addressed.
Okay.
So it got slipped. One of the things we've learned a lot from RTA 1. And one of the things in RTA Next is the ability, if a project gets delayed or slipped, instead of just sitting on the money, we say, okay, this one's this one's sliding. We're going to move the timing back. We'll bring this one, which is ready to go, and move it up.
Okay,
That's the
good.
responsible,
Yeah.
good governance thing to do.
Sure.
And that good governance. So the bottom line is the money goes to the municipalities and to the contractors and all that as the work's being done and as it's needed. But otherwise, it sits under RTA's control. Okay. And there's oversight for all those projects. They've got to be done properly.
Yeah, I guess what a lot of people imagine or how it happens is that, there's a percentage of the tax that you collect for the RTA that automatically goes to the city, kind of just a big fund that goes to them, and they kind of do whatever they want with it.
None of the municipalities get any, as we call them, slush funds handed to them. They don't get just the money handed to them.
Right.
Now, when you get off the road projects are really easy to work. So people say, well, how does that work with the transit dollars? So 59% of the transit dollars are spent outside the city of Tucson. And those are through IGAs and contracts that RTA manages for Dial-A-Ride, for paratransit, for some of the express services. Those contracts are actually bid at the RTA. And the RTA board's the one that authorizes those contracts. The money inside the city of Tucson, and it's spent on what we call the SunTrans system, that money goes to them when the justification is there for how they're going to expand the rides. Now, they do. Once the money gets into the SunTrans system, SunTran then is the one that executes the money. It's like the contractor that builds the roads.
Okay.
So SunTran does get the money, but it doesn't just go to them and say, do what you want. The purposes as defined in here are for expansion, for either route expansion or frequency expansion, so that you can run buses more frequency on higher propensity routes.
Right.
And in this one, we've included $51 million, so that's $2.5 million a year for bus safety and security.
Oh.
So there's how that's going to be spent. There's a lot of proposals. The one that I hear most often is hiring more community service members who will randomly ride the bus, monitor the bus stops, and try to make it a better and safer environment.
Okay. I think that's one of the biggest concerns is the free buses throughout Tucson and the surrounding communities.
And you've heard my answer to that. Here's the bottom line on the free buses. The free bus decision is made at the at the Tucson City Council. They have 5 votes.
Right.
They have 5 solid votes. If this passes, there's going to be free buses. If this fails, there's going to be free buses.
Yeah.
You hear a little grumbling. Well, maybe it won't be. It's the mayor and the council have been pretty clear that even in this budget constraints, they're going to stick with their core values. And part of that, it has always been the fact that they want transit to be as free as possible. And what people forget is even before the free bus fares were there, 43% of the riders on the transit were either under reduced fares or free.
Right.
So there's ways to do it. I think
Sure.
the concern that, and this may happen with some of the security money, I don't know for sure. I mean, probably not, so it's a long shot. I don't want anybody to think, oh, but Ted said we were going to get it. But, one of the things that my organization that I represent my daytime job have asked for is we just want accountability.
Exactly.
We just want to know who's on the bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
If you have a pass,
there's got to be a way to, if you want to make it free, and the city of Tucson's made that clear they do, then provide passes to everybody. And they say, well, people can't come in and get passes. Well, then go to them and get them passes. You can set up pass services at all of the transit stations.
Yeah.
Because every bus eventually goes to a transit station, and people can work it that way. So when it comes straight down to the idea that you're supporting free bus fares if you vote yes on the RTA, it's just not true. It's 100% a council decision.
All right. We had a question coming in. It says, any comment on Matt Hines packing the PAG board?
So that's one of the, since the beginning of RTA PAG, and the PAG board is the RTA board. I sit on the PAG board. I'm only allowed to vote on things of nature to transportation as the state representative for Pima County. So
Right.
it's how I represent the state and the state dollars that come down. Since the beginning, it's been one vote, one municipality. And
Right.
Mike Ortega does a great job in the educational things talking about how have we improved so that the city of Tucson will have more representation. They've got more folks now on the Citizens Oversight Committee. They've got more folks on the Technical Management Committee. But the board has always been one vote, one municipality.
Sure.
When that issue came up at a meeting, Mayor Romero was one of the first ones to speak up and said she didn't like it because some of the things people that Matt's talking put in are actually employees of hers. They hire and fire. Then so you run into a lot of problems.
Sure.
Now,
Yeah.
in Maricopa, they have a weighted system, and there's been a lot of talk about weighted system. And the weighted system is something that personally I wouldn't be totally against because it doesn't allow any one entity, or you cannot use weighted systems to pass something. The weighted system is purely to stop something. And the reason they have it is that way all the little communities can't gang up on the bigger communities. I mean, they've got 33 members at Maricopa, so it's a little different. We'd have a challenge, but it could be. They can't gang up on the little communities because then you go weighted voting, and either side can veto it with weighted voting. But on a 1-to-1, where there's more little or more big, you can't. If you were using weighted voting to pass everything, and if it's based on population, then it'd be a single entity voting all the time.
Okay.
So. Do I wish Matt had brought that up when he did? No, because it just muddied the water. And it's been talked about historically over the 20 years to make changes, and nothing's ever changed. It stayed with the one. It would require bylaw changes and other things. Probably go back to the legislature to have to file our bylaws.
Okay. Next question for you here. Say it does not pass. Okay. Voters say no. What happens to the ongoing projects that's happening right now?
So that's a great question. Any project that you see that is currently in construction will be completed. So, and any of the 6 projects that are either in design or construction that are not on the ballot, there's 20 of the 33 projects have been completed. There's 6 projects that are either currently in progress or in design. They've started.
Okay.
Money's all there for that. And then there's the 7 that the ones you're talking about, I hope, are the 7 that are on the next ballot. Anything that's built, those other 6, they're getting done. The 7 that are on the ballot, it's going to be some tough decisions for the board. Every single one of them needs more money. But if you notice, they don't need the full cost of the project. So it will have to be a decision on which ones of those 7s get done. Now, Mike Ortega will tell you, we can finish all 7 of them, but it will take every dollar that comes to this region for, he's now saying 11 years.
Oh, wow.
Every dollar that comes in.
Yeah.
And people go, well, if there's more dollars coming in, then why do we need this money? The RTA provides almost 2/3, $125 million annually is what the RTA half-cent sales tax, which we paid for 20 years,
Right.
and we're just asking you to continue paying it, comes from that half-cent sales tax, $125 million right now. $54 million comes from a combination of state and federal dollars. Those dollars will continue to come. They come through. You hear the HERF funds.
Yes.
You hear that. That's where that money comes. So that money will still come in. But the 125 that we collect, this half-cent, that should pay for everything in this project. I know some of the other regional funds will be used. So the decisions the board's going to have to make if it fails is on those 7 projects, which ones get priority, get done.
Sure.
And how much of the regional funding, which is the only regional funding that we've got coming in, gets spent on trying to fix build the other ones, or are they in their current makeup? I think there's a couple of them. I know the city doesn't want to build First Avenue as a 6-lane road, but that's one of the ones that is going back to voters to change it to a 4. And the other one is 22nd, I believe. Yep, it was originally a 6-lane road, 22nd.
Oh, the overpass?
It's 22nd Street, I-10 to Keno Parkway.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that's modified to reconstruct a 4-lane divided roadway with bicycle ped and associated drainage improvements. And here's the key for the project: grade separation at the railroad tracks. So that's the overpass of the railroad tracks. Yeah. And it used to be 6 with with all the rest of the stuff: bike ped, drainage, and a flyover. But the traffic volumes just aren't there as much. So it
seems like they are. If you drive it in the afternoon going west on 22nd.
Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of them, and a lot of it's right now. I avoid Grant.
Yes.
Any chance possible.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that are being pushed to 22nd.
Yeah.
But what I want to let folks understand about, because there's a lot of criticisms on that, how much potholes have been emphasized in the thing. It's making a point. When the polling data, that RTA did for this, said there's 4 things people want. They want better roads. They want safer roads. They want safe security for the first responders. And they want construction projects to get done faster. Can't necessarily fix that one. That's the construction. The lot goes into how fast a construction project can get played out, but it's going to take time, and it's going to be inconvenient. And for business owners on Grant, they're mad because that's gone on for way too long. Yeah. The option is it'd get done a lot faster if we just close the street down completely. But you don't want to do that because that hinders the business owners.
Kill the business.
Kills the business. Yeah. They won't be around. But so the first 3 things, all these projects can do. And a big piece of it's this RTO rehabilitation, which is new. The city gets $133 million of that 177, because we talked about the city doesn't have a lot of new roads that they need built or better. Right. They need their roads to be made better.
Yes.
That better and safer. The reason that is advantageous to all repairs throughout any collectors or RTO roads is the city's identified already 20 roads: Pantano, Irvington. I mean, they are the ones that most people would say are the worst of the worst. They need to be fixed. And they can get that done with the $133 million. They can get them all done. Now, it's going to take time because we don't do things until we collect the money. Yeah. So it's part of the reason. But once you lay down a new road, that's about a 10-year fix. Well, guess what? That frees up any maintenance dollars that are being used just to keep those drivable.
Yeah, that's true.
And guess what? Now that money could be used on other roads that may need to be kept drivable.
Some maintenance, yeah.
But the biggest thing, well, it's a great question on what's going to happen with the rest of the roads. Here's the challenge. If the votes no, the sales tax stops on July 1st. And the question is, do the roads continue to improve themselves? Or they continue to deteriorate? Does traffic continue to increase where some of these roads would fix that? Yeah. infrastructure investment, improvement, and for those who don't like cars, sorry, but expansion, because car is still easily the number one mobility around, not to mention the trucks that do all the goods and services in our region. That has to be continual. So the idea of taking a pause and then trying to figure it out, or to go to the municipalities having to do it on their own, it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. And the last final thing for me is this leverages a lot of money. In that, again, that blue sheet with the projects, the second column says committed dollars. Those are state and federal dollars that are committed, or state dollars predominantly, that are committed to getting those projects done. And you look at the very bottom and it adds up all the committed dollars. That's almost $1.2 billion. On top of the 2.67 we're investing ourselves. It's the only chance you have as a citizen throughout Pima County to tell all the municipalities, all of them, how you want their money spent, and how you want the money spent that's coming from that we potentially could get from other sources. The beauty of this, because it's voter approved, we get priority on those dollars from the state.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Well, I appreciate it. I know we probably flew past the amount of time you thought you were going to have me. Will, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday again, Ron.
Thank you.
And
it's always
remember,
great to see you.
It takes two. It takes two yeses.
Yeah.
I've been telling people, if you're a yes, vote yes, yes. If you're no, vote no, no. Because if you vote no, yes, it's
then
a no.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Neither one of them passes by statute.
Right.
So thanks again.
Great.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be back in just a couple minutes.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more. We're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
February weather in the Old Pueblo is beautiful. It's the time of year to go outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Springtime will be coming soon, and so will the Arizona heat. Now is the time to plan for the long, hot summer that we all know is coming. Now, for a limited time, we are offering 5-year, no-interest financing on Rheem Air Conditioning and Heating Systems, OAC. Call now, 520-492-0748, or book your appointment online at PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Piper Family Painting. We believe great paint does more than just change a color. It protects a home and the people inside of it. From careful prep to the final coat, our team shows up with pride, precision, and respect for your property. We don't rush. We don't cut corners. We paint it like it's our own home, because in this Tucson community, it is. Piper Family Painting, bringing new colors to the Old West.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
Life is all about change and growth. You grow from renting to buying, your kids grow from toddling to driving, and then you grow from working to retiring. Is your insurance agent growing through life with you? I'm your local Allstate agent, Brittany Gutman. My team and I can help you navigate all those changes through home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with the Brittany Gutman Allstate Insurance family. Call me at 520-797-7811 or email bgutman@allstate.com.
Hey Tucson, why do we accept pain as normal just because we're over 40? Nearly 8 out of 10 Americans suffer with back pain. At Wellness Chiropractic, we help people after car accidents with chronic neck and back pain, numbness tingling down the arms. If you're like me, you like to spend time outside with the family, hiking, biking, everything. Don't let that pain stop you. Wellness Chiropractic, we help that body move better so you can be the better version of yourself.
All right, we are back. You're watching Southwest Flavor with Will and Ron, and we're gonna have a little lighter of a half an hour now and have some fun with the King of BBQ, Val Romero.
Mercy, how you doing today?
I'm
Happy
doing
birthday,
good.
Ron, by
Thank
the
you.
way. Happy birthday.
Appreciate it. I just spent Saturday with you, and we had one of the Smoking 101 classes, big class.
Yeah, 16, I believe we had at that class. It was a big old class. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. And they always are fun.
Yes,
but
when there's lots more people, though, it makes the time go by really, really quick.
Yeah.
And
and I think most of the people knew each other. They were like family members and
it was kind of a group they had
Yeah.
called before and said, hey, what if we bring a bunch of people in? And I know some don't want to eat, they just want to drink. I said, okay, bring them too.
Nice.
Yeah, we had people kind of off on the sidelines just drinking and watching us. And
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I know. I've done the class a couple of times, and man, it's some good eating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you learn a little too.
You
but
do.
there's
Yeah,
some
you
good
learn a
eating.
little bit too.
There's some
Hope you
good
learn a
eating.
lot during the
Yeah.
class. But again, there's also a lot of food and learning a lot of techniques as well as inspirations from myself as well as Ron and Mickey, who's also helped out in the class, and then getting some feedback from Ty from time to time is also great.
Right. So where do you hold the classes and how often are they?
So we do classes once a month, and they're at my store, Speedway Columbus or the major crossroads, 1045 North Jerry Avenue to be specific. And they are on Saturdays. We host them from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it's a full, pretty much a half-day class. But from that 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock, especially this last class, I think we were cutting ribs at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And, you're doing the hands-on prep the whole time in the beginning. After all the food's put on the smokers, we're eating and enjoying class the rest of the time.
Yeah. That's usually why I tell people is the first half of class, you're prepping all your different, meats and foods. And then the second half of class, we're starting to pull off those things from the smoker, and we get to try. Yeah. We get not only your creation, but, everyone else is in there. So
Yeah, and that first half, it's not just all prepping, because there's some appetizers.
There is.
coming out, man.
There's some appetizers
Let me
in
tell
there.
you,
Yeah.
those are some. I had, I took my grandson and my son this last time that we went, and we were. I had to tell them, pace yourselves.
Yes.
Pace yourselves,
Yeah.
man, because.
And that's good if you don't tell them that.
Yeah.
Because there's so much food.
Well, I
during
learned that the
6
hard
hours.
way. Right? Nobody told me that the first time. Yeah.
No, and I remember we had this last time, another couple that came on in, they said, oh yeah, we've done other types of food classes and, even Korean barbecue. They just keep bringing the food, we can handle it. And they go buy the ribs. It's like, very few times do we tap out.
Yeah. I don't think I've eaten a rib in the 2 classes that I've gotten. Actually, had the ribs there.
Yeah, you take them home, right?
Yeah, those are to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to. I don't ever eat ribs there in the
Yeah,
class.
it's-
They just go into my to-go box, and my family's waiting at home for them. And sometimes I even get one of them.
Right? No, I got you, man. Yeah.
I've had a few times where my youngest son and his friends are at the house when I get home with the ribs, and I never see any of it.
Yeah,
it
no,
just
that's-
disappears instantly.
That's the highlight for most people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, it's because you've been eating so much throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to have a bite of that rib, but then you're going to save them for dinner for
Yeah.
that night.
Well, it sneaks up on you though, because it's not like you get a big plate of food and you're going to be eating it. It's just very little at a time that you're
Yeah.
getting, but
A little
But
bit of the
yeah.
cinnamon roll, a little bit of smoked cheese,
Yeah.
little potatoes, little pulled pork,
Yeah.
little tri-tip, a little more tri-tip, a little more tri-tip.
yeah. So you're like, man, by the time you get to the ribs there, you're like,
Yeah.
can't do it, man.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Everybody's just out there with their boxes at that point.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
One of the really cool things about the class is everyone has different tastes.
Yeah.
So you have some people that like things, especially like pork. They like it a little bit more sweet. Some people like it more savory, a little bit more salty, spicier.
Yeah, we had some good spicy ones
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time around with some pork tenderloins.
So you get to try out different people's tastes and sometimes you like someone else's better than you like your own.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That happens a lot. You try a different seasoning and you're like, I think this is going to work good. And then you try someone else's and you're like, oh, wow, what'd you put on it? I'm going to write that down. I'm going to try that next time.
Yeah, and I know I've been guilty of it too, finding out from some of the people that have taken the class and their combination is fantastic. And then I've used it for my personal, for friends or for family or even just for myself in a meal later on. And it's a nice thing about it is you can experiment. And then when you have, like you said, other people's experiments or their different tastes based on their flavor profiles, and you experience those a little bit different than what you would expect on your own, it kind of opens up your mind to a few more things. It's like, oh, yeah, if I would have done this, I could do this. Or like I said, I've categorized a couple of those in my playbook to say, hey, if I'm looking for a salty, savory, special pork tenderloin or something with a tri-tip, I got this as a go-to because we have all those spices and seasonings that they use that for their combination.
Right. And you have some of your own seasonings.
Yeah,
Tell us a bit
most
about
all the
those.
ones we have are our own seasonings. We do have a few other ones. John Henry's out of Houston, Texas. We also have a few of his, and Takine Hawaiian Spice out of Oahu in Hawaii.
Right. And tell us about your seasonings.
So we have actually our seasoning line is going on 11 years.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
know.
Wow.
So all ours is very small batch seasoning, and it was all designed. My first one was designed more for steak, beef type of seasonings. I couldn't come up with a seasoning that had enough salt content in it that I was hoping for or looking for. And that was the Rub Me Tender, which all started it off with the King of BBQs. And you're going to notice a theme with these spices and sauces. Then the next one came out was Hunk of Burn and Rub, which again is phenomenal. Was designed for chicken. It's also fantastic for beef. Fantastic on ribs. I had someone who had never done a rib competition before bought my seasoning at a show in, I think it was Nashville. Did it at a competition, called me the week later, said she got second place in the rib competition, this really big rib competition,
okay.
wherever she was competing at. And then, they've kind of just snowballed after that. Suspicious Spice, the King's Creole, Rub Me Sweet, Steakhouse Rock, the Devil into Spice for a little bit of heat with some habanero, jalapeno, and Carolina Reaper.
So I
in it.
see a theme going.
There's a little bit of a theme. And then when you go into the sauces, we have our hot sauce hotel and our all sauced up barbecue sauce. So yes, there's a little bit of a theme with the King of Barbecues line of spices and sauces.
Let's take a quick sponsor break, and then we'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we'll be talking with Val Romero, the King of Barbecues.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
My heat and air, we're in a state of disrepair.
February weather in the Oak Pueblo is beautiful. It's the time of year to go outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Springtime will be coming soon, and so will the Arizona heat. Now's the time to plan for the long, hot summer that we all know is coming. Now, for a limited time, we are offering 5-year, no-interest financing on Ream air conditioning and heating systems, OAC. Call now, 520-492-0748, or book your appointment online at PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Piper Family Painting. We believe great paint does more than just change a color. It protects a home and the people inside of it. From careful prep to the final coat, our team shows up with pride, precision, and respect for your property. We don't rush, we don't cut corners. We paint it like it's our own home, because in this Tucson community, it is. Piper Family Painting, bringing new colors to the Old West.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
Life is all about change and growth. You grow from renting to buying, your kids grow from toddling to driving, and then you grow from working to retiring. Is your insurance agent growing through life with you? I'm your local Allstate agent, Brittany Gutman. My team and I can help you navigate all those changes through home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with the Brittany Gutman Allstate Insurance family. Call me at 520-797-7811 or email bgutman@allstate.com.
Hey Tucson, why do we accept pain as normal just because we're over 40? Nearly 8 out of 10 Americans suffer with back pain. At Wellness Key Chiropractic, we help people after car accidents with chronic neck and back pain, numbness tingling down the arms. If you're like me, you like to spend time outside with the family, hiking, biking, everything. Don't let that pain stop you. Wellness Key Chiropractic, we help that body move better so you can be the better version of yourself.
All right, we are back. You're watching Southwest Flavor. Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. I'm here with Will, and I'm here with Val. We're talking about barbecue and smoking and grilling and all that stuff. But, Val, you have a day job. You have to pay your bills somehow.
Yes, that's where the, I'm not smoking and grilling and barbecuing, though that life seems like a great life.
Oh, yeah. It does. Huh? We wish we could all be doing that all the time.
But the reality is, yes. So actually, my business is Arizona Grill and Hearth.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, last year, I celebrated my 20-year anniversary in business for Arizona Grill and Hearth and 30 years in the industry. But in addition to just specializing in the outdoor barbecue kitchens, the smokers, the outdoor environment, all the equipment that goes inside of that, another huge portion of our business goes along with the hearth, Arizona Grill and Hearth. Hearth is basically the fireplace aspect of our business, and we do a lot of fireplaces for remodels, for new construction, and not that we need fireplaces every day of the year in our climate, but on some of our winter days or colder, rainy days like today, flip on the fireplace, and most of them are gas. Take off the chill of the room, You know, I know in our showroom, we heat our whole showroom with a fireplace, and I know you're in heating and cooling, but I've never turned on my furnace at my showroom because we use our fireplaces as our heating a source. And so that's where the hearth aspect comes into it. And just a little like trivia fact, if you want to know, Zeus's older daughter was the goddess of the hearth. That's how old hearth is.
I didn't know that.
In
Okay.
mythology, yes, hearth is it's a center, the warmth part of the house, not necessarily the fireplace, which it is now, but. So, yes, it is an ancient word.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at that. We're entertaining
and educating.
And educating.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Nice.
Yes,
This is now an
My
educational
industry, I don't
show.
know, do they have a goddess of the AC and furnace or the goddess of the insurance? I don't know. But
We'll make one up.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. We'll be like the government. We'll just make stuff up.
Exactly. How do we fund it?
Yeah.
RTA? No.
Get Ted back here.
Right?
We'll write it in there.
Ted, I know you're probably still right outside, but come on in.
So on the fireplaces, you mentioned the gas, but you also have electric fireplaces that are really cool to look at, but that are also practical that you can heat your space with.
Yeah, and the electric ones are more of a decorative. You do have a small heater on those units, so it's not designed as a heating source, but as a visual, where it's warming your heart, not necessarily your house.
Right.
And then you can use an electric anytime of the season without that heater being on. So if you wanted the ambiance of a fire in the summertime, in the spring, in the fall, when the weather's not needing heat, you can have that nice soothing look to it. And we've been seeing a huge trend of people going to the electric fireplaces again. In our climate, it's not required to have these high efficiency wood fireplaces or necessarily want the gas and just want the ambiance of it.
Right.
Or even in smaller areas where they don't have a big house or they don't have gas running to the home.
Yeah.
They're elderly or just don't want to deal with wood. Electric's an awesome option, and they do even have options where you have an old wood-burning fireplace. You can put this electric fireplace inside of that existing fireplace as an electric insert. If you have an outlet close by, you plug it in. Most people are having outlets run into the fireplace because they're no longer going to be using it for wood.
Yeah.
So we change it, so that it's only using this electric. And you can, like I said, you can use it in any type of space.
You know, that sounds a lot nicer than my DVD that I got to put under my TV with the fire going.
With the fire on it.
That sounds a lot nicer.
Well, I agree.
A lot of the things that I see around town also in people's backyards are the fire pits that are, you have gas run to it, and then you either have the glass, right? Or the lava rock in there.
Right, and we have to be cautious on that. It's considered fire glass, so you can't just go to like your art store and throw some non-tempered glass in there, because what will happen?
It'll probably pop, right?
It will, and I
Yeah.
had that happen with a client. Said, "Oh, you want to take a look at this?" And they showed me, and they told me the glass that they got in there, and I put some in there, and I said, "Now let's walk away from this fire." And he, it ended up exploding. The glass bead exploded because it wasn't tempered. So if you are going to put gas in a fireplace, it needs to be tempered glass or fire glass designed for your outdoor fire pit.
But that's something that you do, and
Yes.
I could come to you and first off, explain my what I wanted in my backyard, and then you'd probably do a site walk, but then you could design what the outdoor kitchen or outdoor entertainment
Correct.
space would look like and get that conceptual image on there. And then upon approval, then you can start the project.
Correct. So yeah, we would work with you finding out what equipment that you want for your outdoor kitchen area. We can design an outdoor living space that's going to work with you. We do the outdoor construction of the structure, but if you're looking for like shade structures, things of that nature, we partner with some other people that do that, also some subs like gas and electric. But yeah, we'll come out, help design it for you, work with other trades. If you want like a granite top or a deckton top or just a simple tile top, we can customize everything to your wants, match the stucco finish on the house, do a stone veneer, whatever it takes to make it look like it's part of an extension of your house, of your kitchen, in the outdoor area. So that's one of the biggest things that we specialize is helping you the whole process, not just selling you the product. We can do that if that's what you want. If you're working with another contractor or landscaper, we can provide you the product. But we do that whole process as well.
All right, nice.
And the fire pit.
And do you guys do like financing for all this?
We do not offer financing. I know there are some financing companies that we can direct you to if that's what you're looking for. I know a lot of our clients have their own financing or have the funds.
Usually it's part of a budget that they've already got where they're
a budget
remodeling or redoing the backyard.
Usually their backyard, and they got a loan where they're doing the pool, the outdoor kitchen, their whole outdoor area. So they kind of have something that it's built inside.
Right.
A lot of people are coming in, get the budget for what they're looking for when they apply for their financing, and they bundle it all together that way also.
Unapproved credit.
Unapproved.
Right. Yeah. I told you it was going to be hard to get this guy to laugh. Right?
He's so serious.
Right?
Yeah.
That's my other day job.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man.
So we have a class coming up.
Yes, March 14th. Yes, March 14th. And what we're going to do again for all the listeners here today, our promo is going to be SW Flavor.
Okay.
And that'll save you $20 off on the next class coming up here on March 14th.
Very nice.
So I know we currently have multiple slots still available.
Okay.
So if you are interested, you can go to the KingofBBQs.com, and there's a sheet that says Smoking 101. You can go there. And then you enter how many people you want, and then afterwards you put in that promo code SW Flavor, and it'll take that $20 off for however many people that you have signed on up.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, put me down for 3 again.
Yeah.
All right. So we will definitely be there, and I assume the chicken tickler will be there too, right?
Yeah. That'll be Mickey, yeah.
Meatball, Mickey, the chicken tickler.
Yeah. Remember I wanted to name you Meatball? Remember? But you got mad. Stop calling me Meatball. Stop calling me Meatball.
His official name is the chicken tickler.
I don't know, man. I think Meatball was pretty cool for him.
And if you want to know why, you have to attend the class.
You have to attend the class.
We will share the story. Right?
All right, well, Val, thank you so much for coming in
again.
today.
Happy birthday again.
Well, thank you. I love sharing it with you guys.
Should we sing?
No.
No.
Good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. This is another episode of Southwest Flavor. Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.